Lean on anything.
Yeah.
The crows were really great in the scene, and we brought, I think it was 23 or 26 ravens in from the Czech Republic. Ota was the trainer, and he was great, and his English was only marginally there, so there was lots of pictures, sign language. But the cool thing about Ota is, you know, the birds, anything you wanted to do, he would try, even though, as we all had to get educated, it's like, well, they don't really do this. Well, can they try to do that? And he was fantastic.
There was one scene that was actually, I mean, it's not in the movie anymore, in which it was really a cool idea. There were crows. I go in to check on my little brother, and there are crows pecking at his window, and they're kind of scaring the little guy, so I go over to shoo him away, and as I walk closer to the window, it's this weird optical illusion. It's like all of a sudden the crow's on the inside of the windowsill, and I have to open up the window to, like, shoo him out. And I remember being, like, genuinely scared of the crow because, I mean, of the raven, actually. They're huge. I mean, they're, you know...
18 inches to 24
yeah, exactly,
inches.
like my torso.
Yeah.
Nuts out here. If John hadn't come along when he did, I might have gotten pecked to death.
Well, it's a good thing he did then.
I could sure use somebody.
Penny and Dylan and John. They're amazing. They're really, really good actors. And John was so much fun. John gets so enthusiastic. I mean, typically we'd go to set, and I never knew what was scripted was never really what went down. I mean, like, every time we'd kind of have to wait for the next setup to see what we were doing, and John loved that so much. That's the really cool thing about the actors that we worked with on this one, is that everyone was really, I mean, a lot of times you get with people and they really want to do the bare minimum and do their job and get out of there, and it was cool. Everyone was really into it.
Kristen, Dylan, and Penelope went out to dinner to sort of become an instant family as fast as they could. How'd that go?
It was good. It was fun. I mean, you know, it was natural. You know, it was nice. It was sushi in Regina. It was funny.
Think it's gonna be a good harbor?
I have to say, this part of the movie was so funny. Just because, I mean, it was kind of an ongoing joke. Dylan really looks at John rather adoringly. Oh, man.
I thought John really did a good job, though, like, with the kid. Like, I thought he, you know, seemed really genuine with those little moves he was doing with the thing a second ago. It was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, no, John's such a sweet guy.
Now, there were a few chuckles in the theater when they're like roasting the seeds later on.
Oh,
and they're
really?
sort of looking at each other, giving each other high fives, that kind of stuff.
I remember someone told me about, like, some kind of montage of them, you know, farming, plowing the field, and there was, like, nice guitar.
Now, here we go.
Here it is.
If that's not representative of something, I don't know what is. Oh, oh my hands.
Oh, John.
Here, take mine.
I really appreciate that.
Oh man, you know, that's another thing, like, the location we were at really, I mean, you know, where I live, you don't ever really get to see the entire sky, like, just, I mean, 180, and there was no obstruction of vision. You felt really domed in. It was the craziest
It did
sensation.
have that dome effect, right? You would look at the clouds really far away, and they would be round.
Yeah, totally.
On the top of their bottom, I don't remember.
Oh man, the most beautiful I've ever seen. And there was a few lightning storms, too, that were so cool.
Yeah, the storms were pretty impressive.
It's called the Land of Living Skies, isn't that one of the
Yeah.
license plates? Yeah, it's true. There's just always something happening.
Always something happening in Saskatchewan. That's what they're known for. Something happening.
No, I just need a...
No, I remember too, yeah, like I would just, because I would always be rapping out early, because I mean, Bobby Whipple, what's he doing?
Bobby Whipple. I forgot his last name was Whipple.
Yeah, but I would just hang out on those rolling hills and just sort of watch people, you know, filming, and just, it was beautiful. It was a really good time in my life, just sitting there. It's emotional.
It was cool out there. We filmed a lot of the crows, just all our second unit type shots right on the hill next to that, and with the sunflowers growing and warm summer afternoons. It was very cool out there. What a lot of people don't realize is the birds had gotten a bit of a we didn't know if it was stress or some kind of flu or something, but a lot of them had died after about a month there, and so that was a real tragedy, especially seeing someone like Ota, and he loves them like his own children, and he was ripped from that.
That's got to be terrible.
Yeah.
But you know, fortunately, whatever it was, you know, the few that died, the rest were all fine, and he had a great attitude about it. It's like, yeah, they will breathe again.
That's an area, the Terry Gilliam connection. They just got done working on Brothers Grimm. They were very experienced, trained crows. I think they went right on to Caw, a Killer Crow movie. So they're hard-working union crows, going from place to place.
Those are union crows.
Hell yeah.
That's so funny when you work with animals like that. I worked with a dog once, and it was awful. He wouldn't listen. He was so connected to his owner, and just, you know, I mean, he was, you know, an actor dog, but like the prop guy's dog would have done such a better job, but we couldn't use him because he wasn't in the union. Like, what? A dog union?
Now here's a great scene with the special effects team. Just did everything by making the rails break and all of the stuff that broke around it, and I thought the scene was really effective.
I'm like, hey,
Hey,
hey.
wait a minute. Stop that right now.
That was so, oh my God, that one close-up right there was so uncomfortable, just the weirdest. I mean, I was looking at absolutely nothing, and it was like, you know, it was this sweeping, like, you know, 360 shot all around me, and I had to wait for the camera to come to a certain point to, like, oh God, it really is hell. Not fun.
It can be pretty technical, especially like the more special effects you use and stuff like that. Like it can get hard because, yeah, you're always reacting to nothing.
Yeah. I've always loved horror movies. I mean, even when you know, my favorite movie, my favorite horror movie at least, has always been The Shining, and I saw it when I was like 7. I've just always been the kid that scares herself. You know what I mean? You're with a bunch of your friends, and it's like it's broad daylight, and you're like, let's tell scary stories in my closet and like turn off my lights. It's like you're just creating something out of nothing just because you want that sensation. It's a rush, you know? It's like, and it's also just, it's fun to, you know, to imagine things that, I think it's sort of the same reason you go to see a fantasy movie. It's like, you know, doesn't really exist. I don't know, it's like you can kind of step out of, you know, reality for a little bit. But see, there I am being scared.
Was this originally written in the original script? I don't remember this part.
It was
No.
Ben. It was Ben. Originally.
He got tugged?
He wasn't taken. The hands were coming around. I remember seeing the storyboards for it. They were coming after Ben, and then just rescued him and got out. Originally, the house was on fire, too. All sorts of crazy, expensive shit. Yeah.
But one of the reasons that we didn't use Ben is because he's just a child, and we couldn't grab him, and so we technically tried to figure out how to shoot him on a green screen and then have hands grab a green dummy, but it became just impossible to pull off in the way the Pangs wanted, so it got changed. And I think it actually works really well with Jess because she's the one that's going through all this anyhow.
One of the main notes all throughout, also, especially from Sam and Rob, were about children being in jeopardy and making sure Ben was okay throughout just the story, not just the actor once it was on set. I mean, as we were working, it was very much, I mean, obviously, at one point, when the thing Kristen was talking about the crows were looking out for Ben, the ghosts were looking out for Ben, but how you'd write in that, it looks like the kid's constantly in jeopardy, and we never wanted to, and it got scaled back to just, you don't want to show a movie where a kid like is almost dying every 7 minutes, so a lot of that came out.
I love that hallway.
Yeah.
What'd John say?
Well, he said it was easy to understand someone getting scared their first night alone out here. But that he didn't see anything unusual in the house.
Mom, please believe me. I'm not making this up. I'm telling the truth.
Just please.
The scene was really, it was really hard to make it, I don't know, desperate enough and not just be flipping out.
Running down the road.
Yeah, after something like that,
Yeah.
you know? Oh, man.
But I mean, come on, maybe Mark can answer this, but I mean, every horror film that we've ever seen, the first thing you always say is,
Why the hell don't they just fucking leave the house? I mean,
poltergeist, you know, it's like, see ya.
no, that's why, like House on Haunted Hill and Ghost Ship and 13 Ghosts, they always found a way. They're all the